The story begins with a view of the town, a large number of footprints, the evil one is somewhere nearby. Tracks are collected, she's nearby, but first we need to figure out where she is. Understand? Yes, Master. Blood clots flew in my direction, noticing them I dodged. It seems the evil one was hiding in the footprints, waiting in ambush. How many footprints on the wall? Which one? I found her. I pulled her out of the trail. You can't run. It's dangerous. Ah, it turns out to be a girl. Such beautiful legs kept looming in front of my face, I even got embarrassed. Please don't provoke the evil one, they're more dangerous when they're annoyed. What provocation? I was giving a sincere compliment. The impure have rushed to attack. The evil spirits see you as an enemy, so they immediately unleash the power of their accumulated traces. Transformation. Binding bonds. Got her. Is that what the power of the accumulated traces is? I hope something I've done won't be considered harassment. Master, please put such thoughts out of your mind. Uncleanness has torn the restraints. Still trying to resist? I like that you're resisting stubbornly. Well, I hope I don't look like a complete scoundrel. Master, stop thinking like that. The villain has gone berserk. And wounded me. Damn, I got you. Is this the end? Am I going to die here? Why did this happen? Why did I even take this job? Not an ordinary day at all. Except that I can see something unusual that goes along with fear. That's what I felt the first time I saw something like that, but I quickly realized that no one could see them but me. This fear of wonder, which only I, alone, can enjoy, they strongly beckoned me. Everyone thought I was strange, even my parents. But I was allowed to rent a house for myself and live alone, coming for holidays was out of the question. What's that? I know the feeling, those marks from those creatures. Maybe there's someone waiting in the alley. A creature flew into his face. It's... Do I have to kill it? Wait. Is there a man who can see monsters without losing his mind? Aren't you scared? How beautiful she is. Even though she has closed her eyes, I can still feel the elegance of her thoughts. Even if the most beautiful woman in the world is standing in front of me, one must remain steadfast. After all, the eyes can be deceived, but a painfully familiar unease in my heart tells me that she is not human. A monster in human skin. Your expression speaks for itself. I didn't expect there were people in this world who liked monsters. You're interested in me, isn't that all you want? The job you mentioned would allow me to come into contact with more creatures, isn't that weird? I'm looking for strangers who have lost their way in a world of strangeness, in order to move them to a place of safety. If you're willing to take the job, you'll have plenty of contracts with them in the future. And, of course, I'll provide the necessary support. Until you do get up the courage, accept my offer and we'll be together. I remember why I took that job the other day. To stop monsters from living on Earth. You're my new employer? Lying on the ground, doing nonsense, what kind of work attitude is that? If you really care about the monsters, then save them the trouble. Who are you? It's dangerous here. What's your life? You dodged. Why didn't you warn me? Without me, you'd be dead. The wound is healing. But the scar isn't pretty. Did that woman send her to help? I never thought she'd be so attentive. First of all, understand that I am not responsible in your dealings with the evil one. Her end depends on you and your blitzing skills. The girl's head has been cut off. Fool, I'm not dead. Don't think about it. It's all right, I know how to make him calm down. It's a human. It's what you call an evil whisperer. Sprout. Uncleanness ran towards me, how impatient. Careful not to trip. Absorbing drops of anxiety. Reconstructing the alarm drops. Blitzkrieg is the first power I've got from this evil thing. These thin threads are not just fragile cobwebs, they harbor great power to ward off. Fear not, I am here to help you evil. Look! It's a flash of excitement. What a pity. Not only these scars, but your feet are in them too. Before we met, I found a space where the ground and walls were shrouded in anxiety. You walk on the piercing rubble like a barefooted figure staining the ground with blood. Perhaps others are blind and cannot see, but I saw. If I hadn't been drawn to your behavior, I wouldn't have noticed that particular part of you, no one can feel your discomfort in this world and no one can understand your pain. And of course those bleeding wounds, they can never heal, but it doesn't matter anymore. Let's get you home. I'll be sure to heal the wounds on your legs. What does unity even mean? Why would your human give up Blitzler? If the evil one shoots fire, you'll be dead in seconds. And anyway, how are you holding it? Like some girl you love? Don't let her scare you, she's just jealous of our newfound intimacy. Huh? Who are you to call me jealous? Oh my God. I realize now that your talk with the whispering evil one is not bragging. This test proves, without further question, that you're worthy of the job. Yes, exactly. I'm an imp, too, but it's not like he understands my feelings. Ha! He may be a weirdo, but try to give him some attention. Now that we've agreed on everything. We'll go to the undead world, that's where you'll get to see them for real. Let me give you a little introduction to the devils. I'm going to the harem of the devil. This is our transport. Would you like to go for a ride? It's hard to imagine you driving. We're pretty quick learners. She doesn't really know how to drive. What's more, this car drives itself. What kind of wicked travel style is this? Every cell in my body shudders as the car floats and soars. We're here. So this is the world of wickedness? There are so many adorable kids out there, says the twisted bastard inside you. By all human customs, why don't we find a nice place to talk? Welcome. Waiter, another drink. 1 flamenco cocktail for the charming customer. 1 more, for the new guests. Here, try it. This place is called Moonrise. I am the Lord of Moonrise, but you can call me nothing. They call you nothing? Why humiliate yourself like that? No, homonyms. I've never considered my name from the angle of human language. As for mania, the name serves as a constant reminder of rejection. Almost all of the local evil spirits are aliens to this world. To you we are exiles from another world. And to the former world we were strangers. As strange and frightening as we are, one blatant mistake could hurt everyone around us. We do not fit into any group, we are a disaster and a misfortune to all. Instead of calling Moonrise our domo, it is better to say it is our prison. Mr. Chang Jiakuan, I would like to commission you to find a place for the wicked to live permanently. That way they can live peacefully at Moonrise. It's for our safety as well as the safety of the world. It's nothing. Provided you do not prevent me from approaching them. You're so determined to accept it, I'm even embarrassed. As much as I admire your talents, this child will be with you now, just in case. I'm Goon Shaw, a born evil. Also, the Lady of Nothingness has asked me to help manage. But even so, I still can't recognize you. You claim to be a good judge of evil spirits, don't you? Then why don't you try to figure out what my peculiarities are? You remind me of human women with your maliciousness. It's an age-old characteristic of the impure. Then I can be angry on behalf of all women? I'll come after you, believe it or not. I would prefer not to be defeated. So I'll go first. What? You think you can grab my head and threaten me? That's what I thought. It's really weird and inhumane. Is that how you test your hunches? I don't get it. If you're the evil one of these parts, then you're probably the delightful head described in the fairy tales. Just a head and an arm. No body in sight. Just walls, no need to fight. This body is like a prosthetic you use to impersonate a human. And it looks like you can control it freely as long as your head is attached. If your notes are correct, you must also have one arm that belongs to the main body. What are you trying to do to me? Pervert. Sex maniac. How cruel. But I finally understand. Your head is just misleading your enemies because your arm is the true body. Or to hell with it. How weird. Why am I still falling? So that's what it was. The whole Moonrise place, is that a huge evil thing? I was grabbed by tentacles and put on the ground. There's nothing wrong with fooling around at Moonrise once in a while, but I really want you and the Guan Shou to get along. It's decided, I think you should go together tonight. What? Is this your room? Doesn't even remotely resemble an evil room, the door's closed. And now. Reminds you. Mr. Beat. No time for games. Anxiety is building up, we have to be more careful. Blitz blitz, got Guan. Starting to swallow the alert. This counterattack might have worked if it wasn't for the difference in strength with the Guan Shu. From high to low, the ranking of the unholy is based on horror class, peril class, lethal class, bloodshed class. After the host entered into symbiosis with me, he became a junior leader of the evil spirits, and could handle bloodshed on his own. Guan Shu was only responsible for support and communication, but once she succumbed to her own will, the real level of the impure reached a deadly level. Bam! Absorbed. Her head snapped off her body and into the wall of the room. Given her powers, she should expect an attack from any direction. It came from behind. Your deductions were correct. I can walk through walls and manipulate the inert materials I'm bound to. But, what does that knowledge get you? Bidosh. Super takeoff. Grab the back of his neck. It's a ceremony of greeting at the unclean. Clarification of state by means of power. I've never seen anything like it. We are the stewards of the evil spirits, a total victory true that is known to all evil spirits. You may have the approval of Lady Zanzen, but I choose to be completely unchecked. Do you understand? Blitzkrieg, you didn't think I'd let you try all those conquest tricks on me. Really? Not bad. Chang, until you get over your stubbornness, don't expect us to sleep in the same room. Good morning. Last night was delicious, don't you think? Good morning. I'd rather lie down on that clumsy sleeping bag. Did something happen to you last night? If Guangshu made you sad, please allow me to start by apologizing on her behalf. Something happened last night during the test that really bothered our girl. Guan, let Chang have a look. Okay. One of the evil ones has always been there for me, but he slipped away despite my concern. That's the one that lived under your chest? What kind of evil was that? He's the one we found yesterday at the place where we met. His name is Naru, a particularly nosy imp. I didn't think I needed to follow him, so I just left him in Guan's arms. I just wasn't expecting this. Are you willing to help me correct my mistake, Chang? Of course, because it's a job I agreed to do, but... How are we going to do this? Can I touch his little hands? No problem. Before we act, we need to know where he lives. That way there's a chance of getting a lead on him. No problem, just make it quick. Your artificial body is so realistic and soft, doubted my handiwork. Touch the unclean. It's a breach. Even for an impure. Very unusual. According to your rules of etiquette, should I apologize to you? Shouldn't you be saying it's okay or don't worry, it's okay? Were you expecting me to be nice to you? People are all looking for profit, they have evil intentions. I understand people, so I can't relax around him. For example, people should be afraid of evil spirits, but nevertheless some people are attracted to evil spirits. Why is that? Rankuan, you haven't done anything wrong. It is they who have abandoned you, gave up on us. It's usually because some guys have good taste. Or maybe it's because bullies like you have no friends. New guy, trying to help you out, in controlling the baddies. In the management process, people are often the biggest threat. I see. As a human, I have something to tell you, your Tsunda is missing. We're here. You don't sense a presence here? I sense the impure, but I have no physical ability to communicate with them. However, it knows everything. It? What is it? Just follow me. This giant eye appeared after I encountered its aura in the breach nest. Since then, the Naru has been interested in nature, it usually just goes wherever it looks. A stranger shouted for help. Who are you? Stay back. Naru. Wait. It's me. Vanished into thin air? Seeing the shifting angle, you'd think it's the ability to evade the breach. No wonder the Guanxun can't control it. However, don't talk about this man either. Did you see it? Did you see that too? That monster. Actually. Came for my beetle nuts. Beetle nuts. It's a spiritual sustenance that I can never find the time to enjoy. Calm down, like I need them. Jianzhen said that the disturbance attracts various new things. He was interested in trying these nuts. I never thought I'd meet such a horrible monster. Didn't you? Horrible monster? I'm sorry, but I didn't notice anything horrible. Then. Forgive my crazy talk. I went so far out of my way to think I'd met someone who didn't think I was evil. Freak, outcast. Isn't his talk weird? Is he even human? Of course not. Ha ha ha. They're even weirder. Hey. There she is. You run away from the orphanage so often, it scares the hell out of us. This time you'll get a straitjacket in solitary confinement. Wait, my nuts haven't been eaten yet. They're bad for you. You can't eat them. Weren't those guys violent? Who is this girl? She's just mentally ill. I wouldn't compare us anyway. Let's go. I hope no one bothers looking for Naru. Naru? Did that guy just call an impure Naru? Interesting. I'll keep an eye on him. Perhaps we can just sit back and just harvest, he. Naru ran, a distant street with eateries. Maybe she had recently developed an interest in human food. Fortunately, it's not lunchtime yet, which means we can take the initiative and get the breach out of there. But what kind of food are you going to lure her out of there? Just go first and talk to the vendors. No, what's wrong with you? You're like a savage going shopping for the first time in a year. Just because I know how to get along with evil doesn't mean I'm as good at getting along with people. Hey! Everyone has their pluses and minuses, and that's just called working on your strengths. You don't have to sound so convincing by clinging to someone. HMPH, I'll go ahead then. My prosthetic human body is just right for situations where I run into people. Always been bad with them, but now let me show you my skills. Boss, I'll have a piece of fried chicken. What a polite girl, surprised the salesman. It's a breach. She's looking at us. Does bait in the form of food really work? It doesn't work, does it? There are effective ways. What we've chosen doesn't work for him. Pungent smells? What do you mean? How about this? Luocephone. Rice noodle soup with river snail, a Chinese noodle soup that has a pungent, unpleasant smell that can fill an entire restaurant and even the surrounding streets. Do you really like it? I'm not sure, but I hope so. Here she comes. Naru climbed onto the table. She's interested, but why isn't she eating? I screwed up, I'm sorry. I remember the first time you ran away. There's nothing more exciting, or frustrating, or even dangerous. All because you saw someone with a strong infatuation for you that drove you insane. When people are fed, they're relaxed, so you go where you smell food. Naru, I think you are looking for a relaxed atmosphere. Senor Guan. What's that? It's embarrassing to say this out of the blue. Your job is to spot the bad guys in the crowd. We may not have known each other that long, but I understand how difficult it is for you. So why don't you relax tonight and enjoy some human food? No. Why would you do that? Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Please help me change this tense atmosphere. Naru took a bite. At least it's better than Luocephone. Love ho. Like I said, right? The Lord of the Undead told me that his transformation of Naru shows her understanding of things. She transforms after others are enchanted. Is that so? If I remember correctly, her transformation is a deep impression of the backside of her soul. How does the sight of a little girl affect Chanzaikuan? Naru is furious. What did she say? Aren't you the self-proclaimed telepath of Bizarro? My knowledge isn't enough with this level of empathy. Isn't reading minds a superpower? Can an average person like me do that? If you're average, are there no normal people left on Earth? Naru wants to eat. Magnet, make this Blizzaro get rid of his defenses. Thank you very much. How? Can you see the breach as well? Before and after the transformation, normal people couldn't see them. That's the whole problem. You are not members of the lunar community, but you can see traces of the Blizzaro. That's why we're taking you with us. Guan Shu, you'd better explain yourself. I'll tell you when we get back. I didn't think we'd run into them here. My sworn enemies. We must teach them a lesson and save Naru. Naru's propaganda solution has leaked. The agitation vessel has been found. The master can now fully harness his power. Chang caught the guys with his tentacles and threw. We overestimated them. Weaklings. No weapons, they're normal people. They've had their eyes modified to see Bizarro. It's all right, it's all right. It's all right, I'll get the solution back from you later. They've got a confirmed mental patient, most likely humans. She could also be a victim. Did you get rid of them? What were they doing to you? I'm telling you, don't take my talking seeds. Damn, were you able to catch that monster? Naru is not a monster. And we didn't catch her, we were going to free her. The girl turned out to be evil. And threw herself at Naru. Chang defended the breach. Hurry up and get over here. Monsters, but why did you cheat? Me? I didn't see them before, but things are different now. Don't say such hurtful words. After our first meeting, I knew we were tied up in the past. Do you think we're the same? Damn it. She's from the Moon Corporation, too. A damned bunch of people who'll never stop hunting Bizarro and revive the moon. Especially her transformation at a level that surpasses Basil's whole armed mob. I need to intervene. But the disturbance inside me is unstable. If it's more than I think it is, I can't save everyone. You better run, Chang. That's all you can do now. Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg. You shouldn't have turned against me. Join us. Ultra-dense neurotoxins detected. Keep up the good work, Master. What's going on? Help. There's a monster. Don't come any closer. Can you see them? Ask me. I don't want to die. What monster? Are you out of your mind? Or are you trying to draw attention to yourself? No, it's not like that, I would never. That's disgusting, I thought it would work on me, you disgusting bitch. What was that? I didn't do it. An illusion? A show with me in it. You finally saw the game. Misunderstanding was our biggest problem. Blitzkrieg. What? Don't worry, it's safe. No one can hurt us. You can understand me, can't you? You sympathize with all the Biraros and we're peers. Take me up on my offer, okay? Let's become one. Together we can kill those monsters that oppressed us. Why have they stopped? Even though I don't know the enemy's strength, this is a great chance to end it all. Hello? Naru jumped out to Chang. Chang Zaikuan. Since birth I have possessed the ability of strange creatures. They are always around us. Sometimes picking fights with each other and occasionally picking on people. At first, I was terrified myself. But in the end, the creatures themselves are more terrifying monsters. Chang Zaikuan, we're all thinking the same thing. I wish you'd disappear. Why am I remembering that day? What kind of weird flashback is this? I remember everything since then. What's the matter? What have the foreigners forgotten here too? The atmosphere has become a little restless. Lousy, but there's such a serene atmosphere. Sweetheart. This place is my psychological domain. Finally, the critical moment to eat this guy has arrived, don't interfere. What's the point? I'm having a hard time dealing with more than one person at a time. How could I miss such a tidbit? Mind-eater. Naru got out and devoured the girl's tongue. Gross. Mixed taste of human and creature. So a mutant human getting creatures? Lousy. But if I don't eat you, I can't get back his other. I've been really got hurt in my own creature? What kind of monster are you anyway? Stay back. Monster? Bullseye. I'm always just a monster who can't be defeated psychologically. Now, how about getting it? Naru has consumed the girl. How is it? She just suppressed her psyche. It's okay now. As payment, try to keep everything I've already seen of your past. So surprisingly delicious, oh. How sweet. Chan Bunny. Something wrong? What the hell just happened? Is Naru the Great Eye or a separate being? Which of these is my fantasy and which is reality? Either way, Naru is the weirdest phenomenal thing I've ever met. That should be enough. True, it will get in the way a little while you're walking. From now on, you won't get lost, even outside the moonrise. It's nothing, really. If you're happy, so am I. Surprise? Chang Zaikuan, you've done well this time. It's the first time I've seen a man get along with a Bizarro like that. I was even worried it would all be over soon. But it turns out you surprised me more than I thought. According to history and legend, humans have encountered many creatures. Mostly kept them in fear. You said snakes were once the victims of human contempt. But in fact, snakes are very timid and cautious. They are defensive of anyone in their vicinity. Some people can live in harmony with snakes if they understand them. Sparrows were also thought to be one of the 4 pests. Now, they live all over the world. People are afraid of white mortar and long-legged spiders, yet they remain the ones that do little or no harm to humans. The prevalence of rationality over fear is the pinnacle of human development. I understand the Bizarro well. And these ways help us to exist without harming each other. But the creature is dangerous. Harm is built into their instincts. If what they do harms humans. Didn't you just talk about certain aspects of humanity? If such a question were to arise, won't the humans fight it? They won't stop until they draw a line of blood. You can't say that about everything. Are creatures so dangerous that even I can't deal with them? Is that the point of Sunrise, Lady Nothingness? Quite right, taking in dangerous creatures and looking after them is my duty. I never shirk my duty. However, what about those guys who attacked? Did we do the right thing to leave them there? Did that gang go through something, like taking over the moon? What happened to me? What a shame, my knight. I am not the only one ashamed of your defeat. It is a great shame to capture the moon. Lord Baron, look at that pretty face. When I first saw you, it was quite different. Mockery was destroying your body. Beetle nuts had made your lips dry. Drugs paralyzed your mind. What's more, you were desperate and unable to control your life. I saved you. Not only were you cured by the infusion of Bizarro, but you also gained a lot of power. I had high hopes for you. We were to subdue the creatures and possess them. Under my leadership, not to mention the barons and viscounts. You had the opportunity to become a Duke of the Moon. I gave you so much, and all I asked in return was not to fail. How could you betray me? How could you lose all the power I gave you? Forgive me, Lord Baron. Give me another chance. A pawn, I'll have plenty of those. Resources are being mined too slowly, it's undermining the development of the moon. The Bizarros are evil and they're dangerous. Being able to convert resources into energy is the best fate for these creatures, the ultimate human mercy. The rising moon, led by the creatures, must fall. It is the world that must belong to the new order of the capturing moon. The man who destroyed my beloved knight. Was it him? I want to see you in person, traitor to humanity. Isn't that the renegade, Chang Zikuan, I think? Do you know what they say about him? He signed an agreement with the school, his attendance will not be taken into account during exams. That's against the rules, even at a public school. Yeah. It's not fair to the other students. Oh, you're new and you don't know. Ever since he enrolled at this school, he's always come out on top in everything he does. A star in his own right, isn't he? I'd like to see what that jackass can do. He's the best in PE, too, he's even better than his teacher. What? I advise you to ignore him. They say he was bullied by his classmates when he was a kid. They ended up going missing. You should respect your human origins, Chang Zikuan. You may consider searching for creatures a part-time occupation, but put your human life first. Thanks to my guidance, the rising moon follows the path of harmonious coexistence. If you were to completely unite with Moonrise, it would contradict my intention to invite you. Now, back to the Moonrise information. Let Guanshou contact you by phone. And take a look when you have a moment. Lunar Grip, what is it? Lunar Capture, or more precisely, Moon Capture, a human organization not previously made public. It is not known when it was founded. Maybe decades ago, maybe centuries. The members of the Moon Grabber are all human, but they are not pure-blooded. They prey on the undead, trying to take their powers in every way possible. Are they human-creature hybrids? The creature's limbs and powers have been surgically transplanted into human bodies. That's how the capture of the moon refers to the impure. So those creatures who had their limbs and powers taken away, those poor creatures were considered mere resources. They were thrown away like rubbish. The seizure of the moon is based on a strict system of imperial titles. From highest to lowest, they are divided into dukes, marquises, earls, viscounts and barons. Strength is not a determining factor in determining status in the lunar encroachment. But you're unlikely to be able to handle a knight, let alone a titular member of the moon capture. If you face capture alone, retreat immediately. Power failure? How strange. It's not usually this dark. It must be very noisy at this time. Why is there no one there? I don't hear any sounds. It's like the school is deserted. If you've come for revenge, why choose a place like this? The head of the moon grabber? God, you figured out who I am so fast. Unusual guy. I didn't come for revenge. You helped me regulate my losses by getting rid of weak links beforehand, so I should thank you. Nonsense, just piss off. But now we need people. The lack of helpers is very frustrating. Your people are a pain in the ass. Are you deaf? I told you. I don't care, get out. You seem to be missing the point, boy. It's not an offer. It's a threat. Unless you take it, people are gonna get killed one by one. So it was you who took over the school? Holding everyone hostage to threaten me? Why should I care about their lives? They're just part of a meaningless mob. Ha ha ha, I like your answer. You have it in you to seize the moon. But if you're breaking comedy here, how can I think about letting my guard down? Why not check you out? The Flash? Where did it go? Where did they come from? They took me by surprise. Blitzkrieg. Is that the power the moonrise gave you? A so-called mixture of excited particles. That doesn't sound like Jin power. Between my power and yours. Hit Chang. This power. Long tentacles coiled, forming something like a strong and elastic rope. Compared to our powers. I'm no match for them. Do you want to get in touch with someone? It won't work. I'm Baron Egan, the thing I don't like most is sticking my nose in and turning the tables. Deception after deception, excuse after excuse. Just for your own gain? Why not take over the world and turn it into a place where we can do whatever we want without these things? And what will you do in this world with me? And I'll claim power for the lunar takeover. Chang has the barrier surrounded. What's going on? You see, something about an evil spellcaster. Even though you've transplanted them and changed their appearance to a human body, the fact that they're Bizarros remains. Your powers aren't that much different from mine. You just manage them a little more skillfully. Stop Chang's punch. How can that be? My powers should be smearing you. How do you even stand a chance? You're not making it any harder for me. Luckily, I have good grades. I'm also good with creatures. Did you know that before you ran around the world doing whatever you wanted? Starting with turning off the power. And creating a flare from a source. To releasing tentacles from an electrical socket. That doesn't sound like the power of Jin. You reminded me yourself that our powers are similar. It can't be. Whatever it is, you can't escape. A mixture of excited particles. If a pathetic mutant like you can do it, why can't I? The particle barrier has been breached. You may shoot, Master. Hit the Baron with the charge beam. Excuse me, no one is allowed to stand in the way of my charged tentacles. You thought you could do whatever you wanted? You're too arrogant. Your human being lacks the charm of a creature. Chang Jiakuan, you pushed me. Somebody's pissed off. How hard is it to keep your arrogance in check? Provoking me only makes you worse for yourself. In that case, you're no longer fit for a moonbat. Then I'll turn you into expendable material. Chang was electrocuted. That wind. Explosive electrical current? Excited particle mixture detected. Master. The enemy is using them as a conductor. I think I understand, you can discharge lightning. I just thought the voltage would be higher. You've just devalued the particles, but you still use them without shame. Know your business, Chang Jiakuan, especially when it comes to critters. Our powers share a common nature. I can't wait to get used to you. Whatever it takes. Hey, asshole, did you forget the wires are on my side? Short circuit. Explosion. Oh, you dodged it? Master, it's too dangerous. Master just grabbed that power and didn't know the thunderbolt. You could have been burned alive. We could even match him in lightning resistance, but I'm inferior in terms of physical strength. I can't resist without the power of electricity. Enemies headed for the gymnasium. I think there are hostages in there. We've got to do something before he does something crazy. The Baron has entered the gymnasium. Lord Baron. Based on the noises outside, I assume the matter has been resolved. Leave it. The power supply to this lousy place is disgusting. I need hostages. I got a bad feeling about this. Are we going to get killed? That's not gonna happen, is it? What? You're the slimmest and prettiest of all the students. I'm afraid they'll grab you and torture you. I'm so sorry. Couldn't you console me? Let's start with him. We've got a strong man here. They seem to like your big mouth. I pay my silent respects. Couldn't you calm me down? Not bad, that's a lot of power. Bioelectricity fits better than batteries and power plants. Hey, get up. Oh, no. My heart's not beating. Of course it's not. I took all his bioelectric power. You son of a bitch. Grab the girl. You think you have the strength to fight back? You don't even deserve to be my dinner. Chang hit the Baron. It's the bioelectricity that's so powerful. Or is electromagnetism stronger? Your hand, what's wrong with it? Got the poor guy's heart back, his heartbeat restored. Chang Jiakuan, you son of a bitch, can't resist using every trick in your book on me. Who are these creatures, from your point of view? A modified electrical power source? You have no mystical creature enchantment or skill with electricity, you're just a power-hungry guy who got special powers. An abomination. Ha ha ha, anyone who dares underestimate Baron Egan must die. Killed his minions. Hey, he seems to be sucking the energy out of his subordinates. You've had the opportunity to see the true power with your own eyes. A thunder sphere. Chang created a tentacle barrier and protected his disciples. Faraday cage. A Faraday cage is an enclosed space to prevent the passage of electromagnetic fields. Your equipment interfered with my move. How long can you hold out, ignoring my power? When the trick ends, you won't stand a chance. Is there a pool underneath us? Threw Chang in the pool. It doesn't hurt to drown, but I'd rather burn your body. You're more than just expendable to me. Oh, really? Blitzkrieg. What's that? A battery? I'm getting sucked in. How could you submerge a battery in water? And why does water impede conductivity? The mixture of excited particles is essentially impure and can be used to form a watertight shield. I have already cleared the pool of contamination and excited particles, so in clean insulating water you can only move towards a concentrated mixture of excited particles. And if there are no impurities there, your powers seem to prevent you from turning into flesh anymore. It can't be. Don't tell me you went to the gym on purpose. I told you, you're looking at a demon tamer. The second you left your part of the Bizarro open to me, your fate was sealed. It can't be. Get your hands off me. You little. Thanks to brave human beings like you. I like creatures even better. Is a place you've missed, isn't it? The Baron of the Moon's capture, Lord Egan. I see. Moonrise was covering Chang Jiakuan, that's what I thought. Idiot. You'll regret releasing me. Once I capture the Moonrise, even the lunar grip is no longer worth anything to me. Ha 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 ha. Huh? How Stano, my powers. It's exactly as Chang Jiakuan told me. I don't see a trace of a creature in you, just an ordinary man, greedy for power. In that case, I can easily deal with you. What's going on? Where is my power? The powers of the Bizarro of Spring. No one can take them away. The life expectancy of the creatures in your body far exceeds yours. You can neither live nor die with it. One day you'll be too old and your human body won't be able to hold that power. It will burn you. What are you doing? Who are you? Karma is inherent in everything. I can only speed up the process a little, but it'll happen anyway. Oh, I better not open my eyes. If I do, I won't like seeing the end of the world with my own eyes. It all worked out, didn't it? I never thought I'd see you like this. You're depressed, even when your beloved evil is around. Just thinking about the past. Not something bad that's hard for me to talk about. Okay, I need to tell you. A long time ago, I got harassed for talking about the Bizarro phenomenon. I got mobbed. Thought. That I was going to die. It was the first time since I was born I felt fear, but someone came to my rescue. She, like me, could see the Bizaroos and even understand them. Not even that. Thanks to her, I could judge creatures so accurately. But, one day, she just went and disappeared, just as suddenly as she first appeared. Thought maybe she left to change places. Almost gave up on it. But now I know about the Luna hijacking, I'm forced to think she's been kidnapped by them all these years, and I don't need any other reason. I need to get stronger to advance further into Luna capture and find out her whereabouts. With your current level of skill, you can barely handle their Baron. By choosing this path, you constantly run the risk of being ambushed by a Luna capture. I may not be very good at communication, but humans and creatures have something else in common. There's no better way for humans to gain common sense than by hammering it into themselves. Please show me how to fight off a moon tackle. Gosh, I think you've got it all figured out. Let's go. There must be a place by the rising moon that will grant your wish. What is this? The deepest place where the moon rises. Every creature here has its own reasons for living in isolation. Do you remember the degree of danger of the evil one? Blood rush implies the ability to cause serious harm or loss of blood. Death implies the ability to easily kill or consume a victim. Risk, the power to risk the whole world. Terror, a power that threatens the natural basis of the world. The least dangerous Bizaros are at the level of risk. This place is a Bizarro prison. And above you, a shadow. It can materialize moments from the past. If left unattended, it can subconsciously disrupt the passage of time, mixing past and present. It can reunite you with old friends. Is that a corpse of evil? Why bring him back, Lady of Nothingness? It's all behind me as far as I'm concerned. Blitz, is this body yours? Why not use the Bizarro inside you to get a better look at the Blitz? What kind of creature do you see when you look closely? The way you can move around so easily, as if you have no tether, means you're not a parasite in your essence. You just have to parasitize in order to survive. And you long very much for an independent rebirth. You might say your host's powers of discernment are strange, but for the sake of rebirth, the Blitz is willing to rely on you. Want to enter the game for your own gain? Accept Blitz's remnants. It will no longer give you its powers, but you must seize and unleash its full power. I trusted it. You have to trust yourself. Maybe the outcome of the game will be good for everyone. Can you consider me human? I will. When the Blitz has absorbed enough food for rebirth, you'll be as human as you've always been. I have already prepared a shadow for further nourishment. Has the past materialized? The power of the shadow, if the past he created is not weaker, then this Baron Egan will have nothing new. Ha 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 Q. Glare, an electric wave. As I understand it, even the same abilities act differently in different ways. If all the Paraludes in the Lunar Grip are as arrogant and uncaring, then electric orbs will be enough for them. Our current challenge. Good night, I'm going to bed. That's my bed. The Blitz and I are in sync. If we're tracking a non-creature, don't we need to deal with the lunar entrapment? Why are we looking for humans? I don't want to deal with humans. You know this man. It's Laurie, your classmate. I have no idea who that is. She doesn't even remotely look like a lowly. You don't even know your classmates. And you mock her name like you did that time with Lady Nothing. What do you need her for? As far as I know, she doesn't have a hint of Bizarro in her. After Baron Egan went berserk at the school, the moonshot wiped the memory of everyone involved. Only this schoolgirl has not been found. Her whereabouts are still unknown. Luna recapture erased their memories. Lunar seizure would have prevented the public from knowing of the existence of the impure. Bizarro for Lunar capture is something of a business secret. They would prefer to monopolize technology and data. If they did want to reveal the existence of the Bizarro, they would only do so when they had enough power to rule the world. Neither humans nor creatures wait for that day, do they? And what does this have to do with Laurie? Wouldn't it be better for the Lunar capture to find her and erase her memory? If the Lunar grapple finds her again, they'll probably take her as an inferior, and then they could use her for Bizarro transplant experiments. I know you can't stand the way Lunar recapture enslaves the impure. Are you just gonna sit back and watch them enslave humans, too? It's early morning. Just because you sent me on a pursuit doesn't mean I have a gift for finding people. Of course, the strongest tool for finding people in this society. Better leave it to the police. They should never be underestimated. And while they're looking for Laurie, we need a break. With a unified sleeping style, human beds are more comfortable. Hey, the guys found Laurie. Let's leave her to the cops. Wait for the Chang Zai-Kuan. Can you listen to me first? You're the only one who can help me. Answer me first, how did you get here? First, to find your address, I checked the school register. Then, I told the guard I was your girlfriend and forgot my keys. And they helped me in. Typical girl who knows how to use her looks to control people. Would you be careful what you say? Look, listen, what happened 2 days ago, all the teachers and students who were victims were taken to the hospital. At first I thought they had to check their condition, but I had no idea. All victims stay calm. Come into the office one by one. Those most affected go in first. But, aren't we safe? That was so weird and awful. Besides, did you see Chang Zai-Kuan? Shut up. This is an ambulance, be quiet. Oh, please. Is it okay to chirp? Huh? I saw my classmate in the mirror. Done. Start the next one, you can't miss anyone.